Hello everyone, welcome back to Banners of Ruin. I nearly forgot the name, I definitely didn't forget the name. Over the last two sessions we've been working our way through the outer districts and we are coming up on our first boss fight here, as indicated by these numbers at the top, getting closer and closer to 0. Castlemead and Islington doing just dandy. Let's see what's next. Blackfoot Contact. A cloaked figure emerges from an alleyway. They offer us a swig of the good stuff. A chance to heal. Well, we don't need that. We could enter combat, or we could go to the Plague Doctor for some medicines. Well, Castlemead heals whenever they use their willpower, and we do have one card that heals for 5 whenever we play it, so I think we'll just take another combat here. 3 great big bears, dealing 10 damage apiece across our 2 heroes. So we don't have any kind of movement attacks, unfortunately. So for now, I think the very first thing we're going to do is throw out the yellow powder. And then let's get quick hands going. We can apply marked to a full rank. There's no harm in not doing that. Now, we are going to be able to not take damage here. It's not going to be perfect, but it will work out. Let's take some defense there. So we're going to take 1 health. Islington, we will solid footing. That gives us 15 defense. We can't play any more cards with him this turn. And we could brace, but that's only effectively going to save us 1 HP or 9 shield and 1 HP. So we'll get started attacking somebody. They're going to continue to get slightly stronger with their fury increasing every turn, which is something to watch out for. We do have a kick though, which means we can move somebody and they will take damage equal to their crippled, which is wonderful. So who do we want to move? Well, they're all doing the same attack. Deal 6 damage. If the opponent has more than 18 block, apply 4 bleeding. That shouldn't be a concern for us, which is just fine. So let's kick one of the 2 healthier guys back. They take 4 damage from their crippled when they move. And I think there's a good chance we could kill this enforcer. That's 7 damage against 2 bleeding. And that's 1 health against 2 bleeding, so they will die next turn. Islington has spent all of his energy, so Castlemead now instead. What's our best choice here? Probably adding some bleeding is never going to hurt, and we'll do round shield. That's going to give us both some extra heal, some extra defense. We can discard a card now that we're all out of mana. That gives us 3 charge for our next turn. So their courage continues to clip up, which is going to mean every subsequent attack is going to hit us harder. Back here, they're going to bludgeon for 6, and if we have more than 18 apply bleeding, that's not a problem for us because we have exactly 9 HP, so we can actually take this attack. That's not a problem for us. And since they're both doing the same thing, what we will do is here we can attack with control, deal 12 damage, and move and swap opponent. They both currently have the crippled condition, and so if we attack here and move them here, they'll swap, they'll both take damage from their crippled. This guy has 3 bleeding on 1 health, so they are not a concern for us any longer. We can also just lay into this guy without a problem. We can deal 6 damage and they'll take 4 more from moving. They're down to 1 with Rush. They're defeated. Kesselmead, now this is a tiny, tiny min-max here, but he has 39 HP, so we can use one of his will. That gets him back up to 40 HP by healing for 10. Then we can kill that remaining enforcer. 110 florins. Another card. Deal weapon damage, apply 4 bleeding. Let's keep ticking up that bleeding. There seems to be more bleeding cards than there are crippling cards. Crossroads, Crazy Weasel, or the Blackfoot Contact for healing. Let's take the Crazy Weasel. The weasel babbles at passers-by, splattering them with spittle from his foaming mouth. He's clearly alarmed, but struggling to make sense. The weasel babbles at you with a manic grin on his face before sputtering into a fit of coughs. Want to change a piece of yourself? Wheezy, he help. So, we can transform a skill. So, skills are any of the cards we've added to our decks. This is specifically not talents. Those are the individual hero cards. What are we playing least, or what do we like the least? Probably just change a basic strike. So rather than a random card, we get a choice of 3. We have Deadly Harvest again, deal damage equal to crippled. Deal weapon damage if the only opponent in lane gain plus 10 damage. So lane is left to right, rank is up to down, or another poison tip. I'd like Deadly Harvest to be better, but we're not getting enough cripple cards right now, so that's not working out for us. So let's try this Flanking Strike. Now, these two guys are at the crossroads, but we can opt into more fights. That's more rewards and more combats, so let's do that. And so, first thing I think we're going to want to do, apply 5 damage and 5 crippled to the front rank, because we're more likely to kick the front rank back than we are drag the back rank forwards. We can also apply tension across that rank. Now we're being attacked for 8, 10 and 8. Unfortunately, we don't have a great deal of defense right now. But the bear in the center is the only enemy in their lane, so we can do 23 damage to them, and that will increase by 25%. So I don't know why we wouldn't do that. That puts them on 4, which is incredible. So let's spend 1 of our mana killing them. Because they had the Overwhelm condition on them and they died, that translated into all of their allies now having the Vulnerable condition, which is wonderful. And these two guys are attacking 2 separate foes here. I think Brace is just a bit too much overkill, but what I will do with Kesselmead having all of his energy still, we'll discard the Brace, spend 1 of our will to give ourselves 3 concealed blades, and I think the easiest time here is just going to be going after one of the bowmen. We take 2 damage against that top rank attack. This militia bowman is going to take 9 bleeding, so we just need to do 3 damage to them. And they are currently attacking alternate heroes, and they are applying debilitating shot with 1 winded. So I think what I'm going to do here is battering ram the stronger enemy behind. They're going to have 5 left, so I'll be honest, I wanted this guy to be brought forward, not this guy, but that's how things go sometimes. We definitely want to attack for 10 damage with our Vanguard. What are these guys doing? Alright, you're out of the fight. That's fine. You are attacking for 8 and applying 1 winded. We can deal with that. Let's spend 2. Give ourselves extra defense. And here... we can only play 1 of these 2 cost cards because we have 3 energy, so we can't play 4 energies worth of stuff, unfortunately. So what's our preference? Gaining 15 shield, gaining extra draw, or dealing just 4 damage? I think I'd rather have the extra draw in all subsequent turns, or at least 3 subsequent turns. We'll draw 3 extra cards, then 2, and then 1. Front rank, we need to do 3 damage to you, and 17 damage to you. That's simple enough. They're now going to die of bleeding. They're also going to die of bleeding. We just have to attack the back rank. Very nice. More cash. We are now level 4. Get to pick another card. Select a card. If its position in front of them is vacant, move them forward into it. Every character in the party loses 1 stamina. Deal damage point to... for every stamina point spent, deal 6 damage to a rank. Coordination. If active character is in front rank, deal weapon damage. If in back rank, apply 5 charge. Taunt kind of works with our moving people around the battlefield threat, but I think if we can have, say, 3 heroes spending 1 energy each, that's 18 damage to a rank, which is going to be really good. So, time to level up. So, this is an even level, so we get words. We get talents instead of passives. Deal 12 damage. If this breaks the target's defenses, apply 10 poison. Transform each of your next 3 ruins into concealed blades. Ruin a card, apply 8 crippled, spawn 1 concealed blade. This seems really great, but I'm going to go all in on the crippled theme we've got going on. And I'll take another stamina. Discard 1 card. If allied character has no defense, apply defense equal to weapon damage and charge. Discard 1 card. If allied character has no defense, apply defense equal to weapon damage and charge. So that's going to be offer defense 13 plus charge. Oathkeeper, deal 6 damage, apply to thing every time this card is played, permanently increase. This is what I should have taken a long time ago. Discard up to 1 card, convert Anai's bleeding into restoration. Right, let's finally take an Oathkeeper. And let's take more stamina. So we now have the crossroads, or we can go to the boat merchant, which is our informant task. If you recall back to the first session of this little adventure, we met a well-to-do person who is offering us help in our final quest by smuggling some of their family out of the city. So to do that, we need to prepare a boat. You approach the merchant, who stares through you with glassy blind eyes. Greetings. What can an old fisher do for you? You explain you need a boat sent to the northern sewers, no questions asked. I don't like the sound of you're up to, but the less I knows, the better, he says reluctantly. 150 florins and you'll have your boat. If that don't suit you, I got other stuff to trade. So we can remove a skill from our deck, we can add a skill to our deck, we can forfeit the task, or we can arrange the boat. If you decide to buy or sell, you miss out on your chance to take the boat. So if you want the boat, definitely take it. You don't get to spend multiple occasions here. We are now at a crossroads, which means everything is back in line. And now at this late stage of the effective I keep wanting to call them floors, because in Slay the Spire you literally climb up through several different floors. But in the outer districts, we are now at the end of our lines. We have a chance to get some provisions from the smithy, hire a party member at the tavern, or heal up at the monastery. And with 1280 in florins, I would love a third party member. So we have Winsmead the Hare, Willows the Hare, or Deslin the Bear. All level 3, all costing 600 florins. And we can see what they're about. So passive here, once per turn, when your hand size reaches 0, draw 1 card for every ally on the character's rank with stamina remaining. A hatchet, a round shield, and sleight of hand. Discard a card. Next turn, pick a card from your discard to move to your hand. They are currently wearing medium armor with 2 energy and 3 will. I can't see what their special ability is though. Bleeding, Fanatic. Whenever they take damage from bleeding, gain 1 will. Superior light armor, hatchet, heavy shield, and sleight of hand again. Or Lone Wolf. At the start of their turn, if this character has no allies, gain 30 defense, 5 charge, and 3 stamina. Superior medium armor. A falchion, 11 damage. If they have no shield, apply 5 bleeding. Heavy shield, gain 18 defense and anticipation. Raw, apply 2 stacks of overwhelm, gain 4 charge, and banish. So we only get to play this card once. Unfortunately, Lone Wolf is terrible for what we're going for here. Falchion and Heavy Shield are both pretty good. Raw is fine. Superior Medium Armor is good. This split of energy and willpower, though, does concern me. The extra card is nice, but otherwise nothing spectacular. So let's go for the bear, because I like the falchion, I like the raw, the heavy shield's fine. Ah. I have regrets. I think because we still had 600 cash, we could have hired another extra party member and had 4 members in our party, but so be it. We've clicked, we've made our decision now. I've never had enough cash to do 2 members before. The hideout alley are blocked on either side, so we must enter the hideout in the center. And here we have our first boss of the floor. So the henchmen block the passages on the side, so we must fight Sledge. Its trap, awaiting brothers slain, a few elite enders triumphantly brandish their weapons in the dim light. All the exits are covered. There's one way out. Through them. So we get our extra draw, which is wonderful. Let's just check to see what the bear's ability is. Remove all stacks of bleeding, crippled, poisoned, and winded, and gain 3 defense per stack removed. So that's no issue to us right now. We have our Oathkeeper, deal 2 damage, apply 2 vulnerable. Every time this card is played, increase permanently its damage by 2, which is great. But first, let's apply that. Then we'll have Islington, who is losing 3 HP currently, apply the yellow powder and heal for a little bit of health. Then we definitely want to play the Oathkeeper, and the rest we can play between us. So these guys are dealing 10, applying 1 poison, dealing 10. What's this? Deals 12 damage, gains Shrug It Off. Every time this character receives more than 15 damage from an attack, they gain 3 charge and 5 bolster. And bleeding again. 2 attacks against Islington, 1 attack against Deslin. Well, unfortunately, it looks like Islington is going to get hurt here. Let's start by attacking one of the weaker creatures. Oathkeeper's skill increases. Oh, we should have roared first. Definitely should have roared first. Is this going to deal damage? It's not, but the strike will. So, strike. Then Kettlemead will Scornful Bite. It says here that we have to ruin a card, but because there are no other cards in our hand, we get to skip that negative. Apply 8 crippled and 1 concealed blade. So, who are we going to apply to? Let's do the big guy. Let's keep them running around the field. Then we can attack here. And I think that's all we need to do. So we're going to get hurt here. That is the worst injury we have sustained so far with Islington. What do we have? We have Brace. We have Heavy Shield. So lots of defense here. We're going to want to hit with our Warhammer, of course. And we can just kill this guy, I think. Do we want to do that with our Warhammer or our Sharpened Steel? Probably the Sharpened Steel. So put the Warhammer there. Sharpened Steel here. They're dead. We are being attacked for 6 across the rank and 3 by 3 against Islington again. So with his last 2 defense, let's give him... his last 2 energy, let's give him a bunch of defense. Let's apply more bleeding to this guy. We don't need to brace, so we won't, because otherwise it's going to increase its card's cost unnecessarily. And we don't have 3 energy left to play Heavy Shield, unfortunately. I don't even know if we have 3 energy ever, because of how the random stats were distributed. Right, we definitely want to move this guy around as much as possible on the battlefield. So, we'll start with Control, and make these guys swap places. Then I thought, yeah, we do have battering around. We'll shove them back. They're not going to attack this turn. They take an extra 11 from crippled. We just need to do 6 damage to Billman here. So we got through the defenses, but not quite enough damage. Fortunately, Kettlemead can get some extra shivs going. That's 10 on 9. That's 8 with 12, so they're dead this turn. So we have no threats to fear. Got a tiny bit of extra damage back there. And why not get some extra defenses going for the group. So this guy moves or swaps to an adjacent position, gains 3 charge and 3 retaliate. Retaliate is like Slay the Spire's Thorns. Anytime we hit them, they hit back, but that is not currently in effect for us. So we just want to hit them as hard as we can. With our guy with 6 energy, let's get some fast hands going, draw an extra card. That's a good one to get. So let's apply some poison, apply some bleeding, strike, and then really go to town here. Kicking does us no good, withdrawing is not helpful. And if they move, they're going to die. They did not move, but that's fine. Is there anything else we want to do before we finish here? Unfortunately, we can't do any healing. They're attacking 2 times 4 and then moving. I don't know if they're moving us or them. But they're going to die from their bleeding at the end of the next turn anyway. There's nothing we can do to heal ourselves right now, so let's just finish this. 337 florins, gain a card. Mirror an opponent's defense. Every time you move, gain 5 charge. Every time you move an opponent, deal 5 damage. Wretched Assault, deal 6 damage times the number of ruin cards in our discard pile. So we're going to take strategy here. This card banishes, but we kind of gain this status for the lifetime of that character's fight. So we're doing a lot of moving, we could do with the extra charge. And then we gain some equipment. We have Superior Light Armor. Start each combat with 10 defense and gain 1 stamina every turn. Or Superior Heavy Armor. Start each combat with 38 defense, gain 10 defense and 2 winded every turn. Next turn, lose 1 winded for every stack of winded that is removed. So what I think I definitely want to do is our bear here does not have enough energy to play all of their skills. So we're going to put their Superior Light Armor. They'll start with 10 defense and gain 1 stamina, meaning they can play their 3-cost cards. We have light armor here and medium armor there. We may as well certainly take the superior medium armor. And Islington's starting with 5 energy already. I think we can swap them out to medium armor. But we'll keep these because we can possibly change them out or sell them later. And these don't add cards to our deck. And after beating that boss, we get a boon. So we can add wealth of 1,000 florins, excellent, leveling up a character, or heal the party to 100%. Currently, Islington is the only injured member, and he's not doing too bad. Deslin has 1266 XP, so needs another 550, just about. These guys only need about 350, so let's level up Deslin. So now they're level 4 like the rest of the party. We get to pick another talent. Ruin a card. Deal 20 plus weapon damage to opponent rank. Allies on your rank take 15 damage. Bull's Charge. Deal weapon damage. If this target has moved this combat, deal 6 bleeding and 3 vulnerable. All or nothing. This character gains half of their defense as charge. All opponents gain 1 rage. Whenever this character deals damage, that damage is doubled, ticks down by 1 at the end of each turn. I don't like that. This sounds incredibly strong. Ruins a card in hand, deal about 30 damage to a rank. Ranks go vertically. Allies on your rank take 15 damage. Or if opponent has moved, deal weapon damage and apply 6 bleeding, 3 vulnerable. Let's get weird. Let's take the Reckless Cleave. Let's take the energy that we so desperately need. Then we're presented with 3 combats, and we'll start next episode with that combat. But before we do that, what we want to do is look at our combat positions here. So currently we're all in the front row top to bottom. But Deslin here has some big issues if he attacks and injures our allies. So let's do this, where Castlemead and Islington can be at the back, Deslin can be at the front on his own. Ruin a card, deal 20 plus damage, allies on your rank. No, we're going to do that the other way around. We're going to put Deslin at the back, the other 2 at the front. And the reason that we're doing this is because we have the card, if I can find it. It's going to be here somewhere. Vanguard. Deal 6 damage if character in front rank plus 4. So if we have 2 characters in the front rank, we have twice the available pools of mana to spend that card. So, thank you ever so much for joining me on this continued adventure. As ever, if you have any questions or comments, you can put them down below. Or if you're enjoying what you see, please do consider subscribing or hitting that like button. Thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.